Hello, my name is David Carrot. I'm a solutions engineer with MarkLogic. Today I'm here with my colleague Drew Wayne-Chowski to discuss how you can enhance your enterprise with MarkLogic Smart Mastering. So MarkLogic is in the business of helping its customers build data hubs. It does that through our Data Hub platform. With it, you can easily load data, harmonize it, govern it, master it, and make it accessible to your end users. Today, we're really going to focus on the smart mastering piece. So MarkLogic Smart Mastering is a deduping technology that takes data from overlapping data sources, links all the IDs, builds golden records, and provides full security throughout. So what we're proposing to do is discuss how do you use smart mastering as a standalone service. So MarkLogic Data Hubs provides firms with a lot of new capabilities that we just hinted at before. But a lot of firms have existing infrastructures which mostly meet their needs. They've spent years building data warehouses, Hadoop clusters, populating their SQL databases and building an infrastructure around them. While MarkLogic has capabilities that these users of these systems would really benefit from, the groups may not be willing to take the plunge to implement a full-fledged data hub. So what do you do? What you do is you provide MarkLogic functionality as a standalone service. So as a high level, what you do is you take a subset of our functionality and make it available through an API. The benefits are that is you get quick benefits with almost no effort on the part of the end users. There's very little change required to the existing environments, and users can benefit from MarkLogic without becoming an expert at it or even understanding how it works at all. And so specifically, we're talking about taking our MarkLogic, our smart mastering functionality, and creating a cross-index of IDs that apply to a specific firm or individual, and then loading that into your existing infrastructure to allow you to enhance your queries and to better understand your users and customers and counterparties. So the problem that we're helping you solve is that firms today need to load data from multiple independent data sets that have been created by different business units, imported from external sources, or generated by companies which you've acquired. So the format of the data may not be the same, and most importantly for this discussion is the IDs won't be the same. So if you're doing a query linking two tables, and your customers have different IDs, then the links aren't going to work very well. Your joins are not going to capture all the data relating to that customer. And so that's going to cause a lot of problems. You're going to have angry customers, you're going to miss opportunities, you're not going to understand the situation, and you're going to get fines from your regulators. So how do you solve that? So what you do is you take MarkLogic Smart Mastering, and it'll allow you to figure out all the different IDs that apply to a specific firm or individual, and then you can easily customize Smart Mastering to generate a cross-index of all the IDs for them, and then send that to your existing infrastructure so that their queries can reference that new index and not just be blindly going against the old stuff. And the beauty of it is their existing system will continue to work unchanged as before, but if they want to get better queries and better results, then they just make a small change and access the new system. So what do end users have to do to benefit from a smart mastering service? Not a whole lot. They need to load their PII data into smart mastering so that you send us a file, and then smart mastering will generate a cross index and send back a list of IDs that correspond to each of the individuals involved. They need to load that file into their existing system, and then they need to make a few small changes to their queries, and then they'll get better results. So now I'm going to turn this over to my colleague Drew, and he's going to give you a demo.
Thanks, David. And hello, everyone. My name is Drew Winchowski, and I'm a solutions engineer here at MarkLogic. And today I'm going to talk to you about smart mastering. In this brief demo, I'm going to play the role of a business analyst, going through a dashboard in Tableau. My task is to find the top customers who've made the most purchases within our e-com systems so we can send them a thank you. As you can see in this dashboard, we have all the sales laid out. We can see that they come from multiple systems here in the systems column. So we have 3 systems with varying ID formats. However, we can see some of the customers repeat. Now, if we were just getting a sum of all the sales by customers, we can see that they appear multiple times. And that may not be great if we're trying to send out a promotional gift card or coupon code to them. We only want each customer to get a single item. With the MarkLogic Smart Mastering tool within the Data Hub, we're able to take these customers from multiple systems and consolidate them into a golden record. This means that each customer will be denoted by an enterprise ID and only a single ID. So as a business analyst, I can see this nice little view here where each of the customers have a full roll-up. Now, how would you do this? We create a data source within Tableau, and we're connecting to MarkLogic server. To get the initial join, we have our sales and we have our customers. This information is reported from multiple systems, and we can think about disaggregating this data in Tableau. But for this use case, I loaded everything into MarkLogic as is. As we can see, we have multiple systems, IDs, and their purchases. If we look at the customers, we have their first names, the systems they come from, and some contact information as well. However, our software engineering folks have built the smart mastering process, so it's a black box to me. I just deliver them the list of customers' information, and they provide a lookup table for me. I have a second data source here in Tableau. If we take a look over here, we can see a lookup table. And all this lookup table does is has a source system, a source ID, and an enterprise ID generated by the MarkLogic Smart Mastering process. We have then link over to the customer. And we can see that these customers have enterprise IDs where they match up. So when I do my join, I can get a nice visualization just like this. Thanks. And back to you, David.
So who will benefit most from that? So the people who will benefit most are where they just need better data, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So sales and marketing, regulatory response. So regulations like know your customer, anti-money laundering, in general, you have to show you're making a good faith effort. It doesn't have to be perfect. So smart mastering can absolutely be used in scenarios where you want really high absolute accuracy, but you should not do it as a standalone service. In that case, you should build a full-fledged data hub. You should have your data stewards involved. You should be constantly verifying the links. So what we're talking about here is something that you just offer to your users where they get high degrees of accuracy, but it's not guaranteed to be perfect. So basically, it boils down to situations where you don't have to share the results of the links with the end user. So smart mastering as a service can offer a number of benefits. So if you have an existing MarkLogic infrastructure, you can set it up on premise and offer it yourself. If you don't have that or you don't want to bother, we'll do it for you. Just contact your sales rep and we'll set it up. And all you have to do is send us a file. You'll get your results back. You get the benefits. All you need to do is pay us a small monthly fee for this. It's totally secure. And most importantly, this is extendable. You can get new benefits going forward. So what happens is once the users start to see the cross-index and the queries, there's going to be other obvious enhancements that they can make. So the smart mastering in MarkLogic automatically generates golden records. So the different data sources will have different spellings for people's names. They'll have multiple addresses for the same people. And smart mastering can help you build the golden record where we help you figure out what is the correct spelling, what is the correct address, and similar issues. And in the initial service we're offering, we specify a schema and you have to fit the data into that schema. And as time goes on and you're onboarding new data sets, you may want us to help you harmonize the data so that you don't have to go through the trouble of getting it into shape. You just give us the data, we harmonize it, and send you back the results. And once you've been using the system and loading more data and time has passed, then you'll start to benefit from our lineage and provenance information and our ability to handle the governance of the data.
So at this point, I'm going to take you a little deeper into how the Smart Mastering demo is configured. At this point, I'm going to be playing the role of a software engineer, configuring the MarkLogic Data Hub framework, as well as the necessary entities and flows that are required to do the Smart Mastering process. This can be deployed in Data Hub service as well as a completely serverless solution and be fully automated so there's minimal user interaction with the system. Right now, I'm taking a quick look at the Data Hub Quick Start user interface. This is a development tool to help in creating entities, flows, and testing out your data movements. For this case, I created two canonical entities right here. One is customer for the main information that we're storing about each of the customers. So IDs from the source systems, their first names, addresses, city, states, contact information, and some additional configuration here for metaphones. So we can take the first name and last names and find a metaphone to see what the names actually sound like. This also helps during the Smart Mastering process. Each customer is also linked out to a system ID entity where we have a source and a source ID. This is important so when we merge our records to create a golden record, we'll know every system that a particular customer exists in. This third entity here is just for the demo purposes, but we included the sales so we can create a single ODBC connection in Tableau to pull all the information. The most important flow that we have here is the customer flow, and it has a sequence of steps. We ingest the content as is from the delimited text report that was given to us from our business analyst. We map the data into a canonical entity by moving over data that was loaded from that initial step. We start the Smart Mastering aspects here. We have a matching and merging step. The matching step are the business rules that tell the system on how to determine which records are actually a match to join. We give each property that we want to have in our equation. We tell it the type of match we want, and we give it a weight. You can actually configure this to have multiple types of match types: exacts, synonyms, double metaphones, zips, custom reduction functions, and also custom functions. For this case, we get a pretty nice model by just creating exact types and giving each individual field some weights. After we determine what the matching rules are, we can tell the system what to do in terms of the data. If we score a threshold higher than 60, we'll automatically merge the records. If it's up to 40, we can notify the user. Once that's complete, we also have merging options. In this case, we only want a single first name and last name to come through in the record, and the rest of the fields are okay to be lists of values. We also put the systems IDs here to retain the whole list of source systems and their IDs for that particular system. In our last step, we have a custom step here that was developed. We check the incoming records that were merged to see if they have already an enterprise ID assigned. If not, we generate a UUID within this custom step and apply it. This custom step is only a few lines of code. Once we run all these records through, we can see the merge entities here by selecting the facet for merged and coming in. We have pertinent metadata around the merge process, semantic triples to link the types of entities with their existing records, and then we have our canonical form So we can see the information that was merged. So William Dunlap appeared in 3 systems here. System 2 as P007, System 1 as M007, System 3 as S007. And we generated a canonical enterprise ID for this user. Looking back at the entities, when we configure the entities, here, a template is created automatically for you, and this enables template-driven extraction. So it will pull the values out of those JSON documents and project them into a SQL view for easy connection in Tableau or any other BI tool of your choosing. Thanks again.